Big breaking news at the moment. The crucial BCCI meeting, which starts shortly, appears all set to hand the reins over to N. Srinivasan back again. Rajiv Shukla is to chair the governing council meeting if asked by Dalmia. Headlines today has learnt that the probe report will be tabled and a resolution moved on Srinivasan's reinstatement to be ratified by the working committee. While several members are for a fresh probe, in all likelihood what's going to happen is that a decision will be taken to move the Supreme Court against the Bombay High Court order. The working committee may see some action, but it isn't expected that anybody will challenge Srinivasan's reinstatement. A few members may say the BCCI's image is going down, but Srinivasan himself won't be challenged. Editor Sports Vikram Gupta is now joining us with more information on that bit of breaking news that's coming in. Vikram, why isn't anybody likely to stand up against N. Srinivasan and him resuming the post of the BCCI president?
Maha, the feeling within the board is that the Bombay High Court observation has got no legal binding on Srinivasan being reinstated as the president. A. B. We all know how powerful he is, and we also know that people may talk about, they may show their dissent when he's not around, but inside a room, nobody's got the guts to say anything. Also, to assume the fact that everything will be decided in a meeting is also a hogwash, because there have been meetings before this meeting and everything's been pre-decided. As I said, there'll be two options for the Governing Council. A, of course, they will recommend the reinstatement of Srinivasan. They will say that the probe committee's report has come and they will give him the clean sheet. They may recommend moving Supreme Court. Now, Arun Jaitley is going to be the central figure in those discussions. Obviously, they may move Supreme Court, not in the fear of any legal binding in this case, but they may preempt anything that might happen. For example, the Bombay police may file a charge sheet very soon. So, to preempt those moves, they will move Supreme Court, but nothing can stop Srinivasan from being reinstated. Now, when the Governing Council pass resolution to the working committee is going to ratify it. There may be a couple of voices who may say that the board's image has been tarnished and this and that, and a new probe panel may be appointed. But then they will be told by the Srinivasan camp that if we go and order a fresh probe panel, it will be admittance of guilt. They will also say that we're moving Supreme Court just to ensure that the image of the board is not tarnished. So the matter will hopefully end there. Srinivasan will be officially reappointed as the board president today itself.
That's the big news that's coming in. Nobody likely to speak against N. Srinivasan in that meeting, paving the way for him to be reinstated as the BCCI president. Vikrant, in the past, there have at least been some people who have had the courage to speak against N. Srinivasan, somebody like I.S. Bindra. What about those people?
Well, I.S. Bindra will not be attending the meeting because Mr. M.P. Panda, who's the secretary from Punjab Cricket Association, is also the governing council member, will be attending both the meetings. So if he'll be attending both the meetings, obviously I.S. Bindra is not here. And I've been speaking to a few of the members since morning, Maha. Everybody's just saying that if somebody takes the lead, then I will say something, which means that nobody will hopefully take the lead. Now, let us also come to the fact that people may not speak against Srinivasan. They may speak in the garb of the Bombay High Court. As I said, they may say the Bombay High Court's judgment has not been fair to the cricket. The image, as I said, will take a beating. But then they'll get the answers. Nobody is expected to stand up and say that Mr. Srinivasan, because of you, the cricket is gone down. They will say that the cricket's image is going down because of the Bombay High Court. So you must understand the fact that Srinivasan is so powerful right now. He controls all the aces. Jagmohan Dalmia, for example, who was the ICC president, he's ruled Indian cricket for years. Even he did not know what happened last week. He was told on the morning of the meeting that the report will be tabled and Mr. Srinivasan will take charge. So you can assume how much powerful Srinivasan is at the moment.
All right. Vikrant, stay on with us because at least the sports minister has made an attempt to exert moral pressure on N. Srinivasan. In fact, Jitendra Singh has also gone ahead and in his own way slammed N. Srinivasan. Speaking exclusively with Headlines Today, Singh said that the BCCI should wait for the police report to come before taking any decision on N. Srinivasan's return. He also said that the Sports Ministry has made this point very clear and the court's observation should be respected. The minister also said that the people's sentiments are involved and their confidence shouldn't be shaken. He also said that it is important that people in public life understand the public sentiment and must respect it, that because it's a democracy. Ahead of the BCCI meet, it could be a no-holds-barred confrontation between senior members of the board against Srinivasan. Board Vice President Niranjan Shah is expected to demand a fresh probe into the IPL spot fixing scandal. The view of senior members is that the image of the board has taken a beating. Vikrant, the sports minister has tried to exert moral pressure on N. Srinivasan, but can the sports ministry really do much?
Nothing. They can do nothing, and they've done nothing so far. To expect the sports ministry to control the BCCI is expecting too much. Moral pressure? I don't think within the BCCI the word moral exists anymore, Maha. If you're talking about morals, then Srinivasan would have quit. He's back as the board president within months, within weeks. There's nothing called moral values or moral pressures as far as the BCCI is concerned. Just see the scenario. There's this small group of BCCI consisting of individual members, and there's the government of India. The government of India cannot do anything. So you expect the BCCI to have any moral pressure or any moral values? I don't expect that.
In fact, Vikrant is getting us that big story that N. Srinivasan will be reinstated as BCCI president today. Nobody likely to speak against him at the meeting. He's going to stay on with us, and we are going to quickly take a look now at what has helped N. Srinivasan get back to where he was, unfazed by the Bombay High Court order, which declared the BCCI probe into spot fixing as illegal. A defiant Srinivasan has decided to chair the BCCI working committee meeting. The meeting is likely to take a decision on whether to appeal against the verdict in the Supreme Court right away or wait for the police to complete its probe.
Mr. Srinivasan president है, उन्होंने ड्यूटी रिज्यूम कर लिया है.
Srinivasan, who landed in Delhi late on Thursday night, evaded all questions on the issue when confronted by media. The working committee meeting will mark Srinivasan's return to the post after nearly 2 months. Srinivasan had stepped aside from his post on the 26th of May after initially refusing to do so after his son-in-law was accused of betting and spot fixing in the 6th edition of IPL. 2 months later, on July 28th, the BCCI appointed probe cleared Gurunath Mayappan and Raj Kundra of spot fixing charges. The Bombay High Court, however, in its order termed the probe panel illegal. The stricture, however, didn't serve as a deterrent for Srinivasan, who has already resumed his duties as BCCI president. Srinivasan's position is untenable given his various indictments, so much so that BCCI he heads has been blamed for spot fixing scandal by Delhi police in its charge sheet. The Mumbai police had arrested his son-in-law Gurunath Mayappan for betting and fixing in the IPL. The Bombay High Court had called the probe panel that looked into the charges against Mayappan and CSK illegal. There is also a case of conflict of interest that he still has to answer to the courts, and that makes him unfit for office. Vikrant, coming back to you now, Rajiv Shukla turned up for the meeting a little in advance. So was there any meeting that happened prior to the main meeting between the two important people, Rajiv Shukla and N. Srinivasan?
Oh, there have been meetings happening since last evening, and yes, you're right, Maha. Rajiv Shukla came in about 20 minutes ago and immediately took Mr. Srinivasan upstairs, which means that both of them are in a room having a meeting before the meeting. Obviously, these are consultations. These are consultations, and as I said, if the entire top brass of the BCCI is on one hand, obviously what they'll discuss is if there are any legal ramifications, and B, if there are any voices of dissent, how to handle them. I don't expect Rajiv Shukla as the governing council chairman to go and tell Mr. Srinivasan that there's been pressure on us, the sports ministry is saying this, I'm from the government and you should wait for a little longer. No, that is not going to happen. Rajiv Shukla must have been with Mr. Srinivasan for A, Srinivasan's reinstatement, and B, don't forget the fact that Rajiv Shukla had tendered his resignation as the IPL chairman, and last week Jagmohan Dalmia said that the resignation has not been accepted. So maybe Rajiv Shukla is speaking about his own case. Maybe he wants to continue, maybe he doesn't want to continue. So we would not know what are the issues being discussed. Yes, they are in a room, and that was ahead of the governing council meeting. But I again, as I said, I don't expect any earth-shattering discussions in that meeting.